Hello chess lovers. In this video we are going to discuss about the blockade positions and what we must to do when the positions are locked up and no pieces can't move. So follow me until to the end. I'm sure this video will help you to improve your chess skills. This game is played in 1954 between David Bronstein and Hermann Pilnik. So before I started, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe our channels, and let's push it to 100 subscribers. Thank you guys for your hard supports. So David Bronstein played with white pieces and opened the game with a d4, and his opponent Hermann Pilnik responded with a knight. f6, c4, g6, we have king's Indian defense on the board. Knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, as usual as king's Indian defense, bishop e2, castle by Pilnik, bishop g5, and now we have c5. d5 by white, he wants to more space on the center. a6, planning to do b5 to attacking the pawn chain, but he responded with a a4 and blocked that immediately. Knight bd7, knight f3, knight e8, castle by white, knight e5, and in these positions he could have like even exchanged the knights, like knight captures, bishop captures, and now f4, and after bishop d4 check, king h1, and after knight g7 the attack is slowly continues, and it's kind of better for white. But anyway, after knight e5 he refused to exchange the knight, put the knights on d2, f6 kicking away the bishop, bishop e3, rook b8, and now he kind of want to put the bishop on d7 and like open the gate by pushing the b5. f4 kicking the weight from the center. It's perfect move play, and you guys must know, don't let your opponent to put his pieces on the board. It's going to be dangerous in the moment. Knight f7, queen c2, b6, rook f b1, and now white kind of trying to push b4, a5, kind of stopping that, and kind of, as you guys can see, is queen side is getting blockade. So when queen side gets blocked, you must push your pawns on the king side and start the attack on the king side, as he put the knights on f3. Knight c7, rook e1, knight a6, queen d2, putting away from the harm of the knight, knight b4, and what exactly move what white should play. So as you guys can see, the queen side is blockade and the king side is free to be attacked. So he kind of pushing the knight on h4 after bishop h6, rook f1, and after king h8, rook f3, kind of planning to put rook on g3 or just doubling rooks on why I say rooks on f file, and after rook g8 like rook a f1, and it could have been good attacking chances for white. But after that, as you guys can see, the knight has no harms on b4, but the David Bronstein tried to exchange it. Knight a2, exchange happens, rook takes a2, and now we have bishop d7. So the positions are locked up, so 1 point for black to open the gate and free his pieces. So in the chess games, one of the important things you must know the space. As you guys can see, the black has limited spaces, and he have to open the gate, like open the center, like pushing the e5 after like capturing en passant. He takes e6, bishop takes e6, and after bishop d3, you guys can see the bishops are getting actives and rooks are getting better by any moves. So after that, black didn't move that, so he played bishop d7, b3, queen c7, and now we have bishop d3, rook b, e8, f5, and now knight e5. In the blockade positions, the knight best pieces to play with, but black chooses to exchange it. In this time, the David Bronstein didn't refuse it, and he exchanged the knight, d takes e5, and now we have h4. As I said, the queen side is blockade, and now king side is available. This seeing these bishops and the queen on the same diagonal. Anyway, king s7, h4. Why I played this guy, I'm sorry about that. Queen f2 first, rook, why I'm getting so mistakes, rook a8, bishop e2, and now we have rook g8, king h1, king f8, and now we have g4, queen d6, rook a1, and now bishop e8, rook g1. He's ready to push the g5 in the next moves. h6 kind of block that, bishop d3, and now we have g5, and after h5 we have the same positions. As I said, everything is locked up, so the materials is even equals, no pawns are exchanged, two bishops for two players, one queen, and every single pieces are equal. But there is plenty of difference in this position, so feel free to pause the video and tell me in the comment sections what exactly the difference between white positions and black positions. So take your time as I give you guys a couple of seconds, of course. So if you guys could find it, congratulations. There is plenty of differences. The one of them is space. As you guys can see, there is more space for white, and the black is suffering on the limited spaces. One of them is one of the good battery of white. So second of it, the connections between rook. As you guys can see, there's two rook of the white. They have good connections, as black's rook suffering and stocks on g8. And one of the important one is the bishops. As the bishops is ready to jump on the actions for white, as the black dark bishop is stuck on a g7, and it's like a big pawn on g7. So there is a plenty of the difference, and white is so much better in these positions. So king f8, and now we have b4. A takes b4, kind of opening these locked up positions. a5, and now black cannot exchange the pawn, because after a takes b5, bishop c5 is coming, threatening the queen, and after queen b8, like bishop b6, this monster pawn, this passed pawn is coming, and black cannot do anything about it. Like a4, black has two connected pass pawn, but they are not going to do anything, like rook b1, and after b3, like pushing the pawn, and this bishop is coming here, the passed pawn is marching forward, and the game is like GG, and black has nothing to do about it. So anyway, the pawn is not capturable. He played rook c8, defending the pawn. A takes b6, queen takes b6, and now queen a2. Kind of he could have played bishop c2 to kind of blocking the pawn, and after like exchanging this pawn, he has a good bishop on this diagonal. Is harassing the black king. Like after b3 is even happened, it doesn't problem, but because rook and this pawn is falling, and after that the game. So queen takes b6, rook a2, bishop d7, queen a7, trying to exchange the queen, but blacks cannot do that. And the reason is, after exchanging the rooks, as you guys can see, there's bishop is hanging, this pawn is hanging, and after like defending it, bishop c2, and this bishop is marching forward, and the rooks are so much active, but these rooks are defending only pieces. So anyway, after that, after queen a7, queen d6, of course he refused to exchange the queens, rook b1, and now rook c7, attacking to the queen, queen x a6, trying to exchange queens, but he didn't refuse that. So he played rook b8, and he said, if you want to capture, capture on my way. Bishop c2, bishop f8, trying to activate this bishop, but there is no way to activate, because after pushing this pawn, there is a good fork between king and the bishop. Bishop b3, king g7, getting away from this diagonal, king g2, and now bishop c8, attacking the queen, and queen comes back all the way to a2, bishop d7, queen f2, trying to capture this pawn, rook b6, and for second time, feel free to pause the video and just tell me what exactly move you would play in these positions. So if you guys find it, congratulations, as there is, this pawn is so pressure on it, so he has a good defense, but we must to eliminate this pawn. So if you find the rook a5, congratulations, this is just destroying the black's defense. After move like rook a6, white doesn't care because of rook a b a1, and after exchanging the rooks, like the pressure is still there, and after rook b6, queen a2, slowly but surely the positions are getting smashed by white. But anyway, after that, he didn't see that, he played rook a8, rook a6, and now rook a1. The better way to exchange to capture this rook, but the black choose to give away the rook and with the extra pawns. So rook takes a3, pawn takes a3, and now rook takes a3. Black gives the pawn to free the file for himself, but it doesn't work now. Queen b6, queen a2, activating the queen, and now what we going to see is just perfect for this video. Rook b7, king f3, and now white knows the game is going to be received to the end game, and the king must be active. Opposite the black kings, he has no good moves to activate the king. Anyway, rook b8, bishop d1, queen b4, and now bishop d2, attacking the queen, and now rook queen b1, trying to exchange the queen, but in this position the game is completely lost for black. Exchange is happened, rook takes b1, king e2, and now king f7. And as you guys can see, the black is in trouble because this bishop is absolutely doing nothing, and he even controlling a more space for black. Anyway, bishop e3, rook b8, bishop takes c5, freeing a passed pawn, rook c8, and now rook a5, just defending the bishop, kings e8, and now kings d3, slowly bring the queen to the actions. e6, bishop takes f8, and now he cannot take the bishop because the pawn capture on e6, and who going to stop this pass pawn? So after that he takes on e5. White could have saved the bishops, like moving bishop on d6, and after like move f takes g4, the passed pawn is marching forward, and there's just like game over. But after that he just chooses to play fairly, and he played g takes f5, and he said, I'm just winning and I don't need that extra bishops. King takes f8, and now c5, bishop e8, king c4, and now we seeing what is the difference between active pieces and just pieces just like defending the positions. Rook b8, bishop a4, trying to exchange, but black wants extra pawn, and this extra pawn is not going to help him to save the game. c6, g4, and now we have c7 attacking to the rook, and after rook c8, d6 is coming, g3, and let's see who's going to be faster. Bishop b5, bishop e8, and rook a3, and in these positions on move 69, the Hermann Pilnik resigned the game because there is nothing to do to save this game, and the game is already lost. So it's just couple of moves, and I'm going to show you guys faster I can, and after like these moves, and the game is checkmate. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like it. So if any points you didn't got it, just put it in the comment sections, and I will explain it in the next videos. So thank you guys for watching this until the end, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.